Okay, so on today's low carb recipe for you guys, don't mind my award-winning pizza pan, I am doing a chicken crust low carb keto pizza, and this is the ingredients. You need 1 pound of ground chicken. So you see it looks like hamburger. You can buy this at the store, any store. This is really good meat. You are going to need mozzarella cheese, pizza sauce of your choice. This one has a little bit more carbs in it than I would like. There is a lower carb sauce available, so I would suggest getting that one that you can get from Walmart. This one is 6 grams in a serving, which is 1/4 of a cup, so that's the Prego. I have the Parmesan cheese here, great value from Walmart. And then you can use whatever seasonings that you like. So I have onion powder here. I am very low on garlic powder. That does have carbs in it too, so you have to be careful how much you use. I have regular black powder here, and I am also going to get out my salt and add just a tiny bit of that. So on my award-winning pizza pan, I have sprayed it with non-cooking spray, and then I sprinkled it with some of the garlic seasoning because I love garlic on the bottom of my pizza. So I have a big mixing dish here, and I have these cute little measuring spoons here and my mixing bowls. So that is how we're going to get started. Okay, so honestly, this is super quick and easy. It's simple. You guys know me. Anybody who's watching this channel who has watched it before knows that I like simple, and I do simple well. So I am just going to open up the chicken breast, and I'm going to dump it into my mixing bowl. So let me show you guys that. Just dumping in the chicken to the mixing bowl. And don't mind the little in the background. She is over it. So chicken in the bowl, check. All right, the next thing you're going to do is the recipe that I found called for 1/4 of a cup. However, I love cheese and I wanted extra, so I got out my 1/2 of a cup bowl, and so I'm going to next pour in 1/2 of a cup of mozzarella and 1/2 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to add that into my mixing bowl now. Okay, so let's get our cheeses added in. And I do have a scale. You can measure out the cheese if you want. Just depends on how particular you're being. If you're doing like super lazy keto, or if you're just doing low carb and you're not really counting. So whatever works best for you. So there is the mozzarella. And then of course you're gonna set the mozzarella aside because you're going to need the mozzarella again. So grab your Parmesan cheese, which is up next, and get yourself 1/2 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. Once again, however particular you want to be on your measurements. And that's about 1/2 of a cup. And I'm going to dump that in. Next, I am going to be using 1/2 of a teaspoon of black powder. Black powder. Don't use black powder, that would be really weird. I meant black pepper. Yes, black pepper. And then I'm going to use 1/2 approximately teaspoon of the onion powder. And then I'm just going to lightly sprinkle in some of the garlic. So not a ton because there are carbs in that. And I apologize for the baby in the background. She is ready for her low carb bottle. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, let's put our black powder away, pepper, and just a little tiny bit of salt to that mixture. And mother has taught me to clean as I go, so I'm just gonna put my seasonings back real quick. And my hands are clean, I just washed them. So what you're gonna do is take your hands, you can use spatulas or spoons or whatever works for you, but you're gonna take this mixture here and you are going to grind it up with your hands and just really work in the cheeses into the chicken and all of the seasonings and such. So until you get it into a nice little well blended ball of meat. And if you take your chicken straight out of the refrigerator and don't let it sit for a while, it will help the meat mixture to form correctly, and it won't be super sticky, because I did have that problem the first time I made this pizza as well. Also, another tip, which I do not have parchment paper, but if you take some parchment paper, you can lay that out onto a cookie sheet or a baking dish before you start, and that makes it a little bit easier cleanup and cooking. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your chicken mixture once it's mixed very well, and you're going to get out your pizza pan or your cookie sheet or your baking dish of choice. Either line that with the parchment paper or just spray the cooking spray, or use whatever nice healthy fat oil that you want to use, and you are going to spread out evenly your meat mixture. So it's very, very, very simple and very quick to make this crust. And this has been a super requested video. There are multiple other videos on YouTube, different combinations that you can search and find. I wanted to make my own just because a quick, nice, straight to the point, simple video to show you how to make this crust. It is really yummy. The only thing I probably would do differently than I guess I should say will do differently than I did the last time is I did not use ranch or anything like that to dip my crust in the last time, my pizza, once it was done. And I think that would have kind of heightened the experience. I think it just would have been more yummy if I would have done that. So I'm planning on eating it with ranch this time. So the important thing with this is just that you get it all even on the pan. So I think this looks really good. And as you can see, my hands are not covered in chicken. And the last time I did this, it was super, like, just really pasty. And I honestly think what it is just the chicken. I had pulled it out of the refrigerator for a couple 2 minutes long before I made the pizza crust. So yeah, so you just take your meat mixture and spread it out nice and evenly. You preheat your oven 350 degrees. Once your oven has preheated, place your chicken crust, as we speak, it's preheated. You're going to place this in the oven, and you're going to set your timer on your oven for about 20 minutes. So what you're looking for is you want to make sure that the pizza crust starts getting nice and golden brown. So that is the part that is going to let you know that it's starting to get done. So I'm going to take a break, check on the baby, and I will be right back. Okay, so this is our amazing chicken pizza crust, ooh la la, and our preheated oven, wonderful. So I am going to slide it in to the oven like so on my center rack. And let me get my oven light on, ta-da. All right, so I'm gonna set the timer on the oven, like I said, 20 minutes. And honestly, it just depends on your oven, and obviously it depends on how thick your meat mixture is on how long it's really going to take. So start about 20 minutes, and it could, honestly, I think it took about 25 minutes the last time. So you just keep a nice close eye on it that it doesn't burn. And once it starts turning golden brown on the top and all around the edges, then you know that it's done. So I'm going to check back as I get our toppings ready here in just a moment. So stay tuned. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys these cute little bowls, nesting bowls and mixing bowls and measuring spoons. I'm going to put a link in the description box below. These are Pioneer Woman. They're super cute. And that is, I've been using these a ton for baking and cooking lately. So if you guys are interested in checking out these bowls, don't forget to click on that link in the description box and get yourself some of these bowls also. Okay, so the next thing you are going to want to do is whatever toppings you like on your pizza, you're going to prepare those toppings now. So this is going to sound funny because I'm making chicken crust pizza, but in my pan I have some boneless, skinless chicken breasts because I thought that would be kind of yummy to put on the top. I'm also frying up some bacon. My husband's looking at me like I'm crazy. And so that stuff is on the top. I've got the crust is going, so it is taking longer than the 20 minutes tonight, and I think it's because I didn't thin it out quite as much, so not a big deal. You just wait for it to get golden brown. So what I have here is tomato and some spinach. So I'm going to cut up some tomato and spinach, and I need a better place to put my camera for these videos. Obviously wash my hands after I did the chicken. So anytime you handle raw meat, make sure you wash your hands really good. And then wash your veggies before you prepare those as well. So I am just going to go ahead and get my toppings for my pizza ready while the meat is cooking and the crust is baking. And I will show you guys what all of this stuff looks like when I'm done before I top the pizza. Okay, so as you can see, my chicken crust pizza kind of shrunk down a little bit, and like I said, I think that's probably just because I didn't flatten it out nice and thin like I did the last time, but that's okay. It's still gonna be really good. So you can see it's nice and golden brown on the top. That's what you're looking for so that you know that it's done. So I'm going to add my pizza sauce and add my mozzarella cheese and those toppings there. There's for dipping, and add my chicken and my bacon on top, and I will show you guys what that looks like. Okay, everybody, so this is my freshly topped pizza. It looks amazing. It's got spinach, tomatoes, chicken, bacon, and the seasonings, the mozzarella cheese, and the sauce, and it's going to be so good. So Genesis agrees we should put it in the oven, 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. We're gonna pull it out and check on it, and I will show you what it looks like. All right, it is done to take it out of the oven, and it looks amazing. I'm gonna pull this out and show it to you guys. And here we go. And it looks scrumptious, and we're gonna let it set a couple of minutes and then cut it and bite and see what it tastes like. Oh my goodness, this pizza was so amazing. You guys are going to love it. So I did add in a correction. It was 400 degrees to cook it at, not 350. It was really yummy. We used the ranch dressing to dip it in, and it was amazing. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.